welcome, a very warm welcome to our Bayer's Digital Campus Challenge in the year 2023. We are happy to have you all virtually on board today. So my name is Simone, I'm working in the Bayer's IT division, and I'm glad to be your host for this year's Digital Campus Challenge. Like in the past 5 years, we have asked students from all over the world to submit their ideas on how to leverage the power of disruptive technologies to address some of the major challenges facing humanity, specifically the focus on the growing and aging world population and the increasing strain on nature's ecosystem. Bayer's mission, Health for All and Hunger for None, is driven by brilliant minds all over the world. And perhaps some of this year's DCC participants will be part of the Team Bayer in the future. So let's have a look and check out some facts and figures of this year's Digital Campus Challenge. After our application phase of 6 months, we have received 813 participants in 290 teams coming from 61 different countries and handed in 211 submissions. So this is certainly amazing and made us very proud. From those submissions, 4 teams have been selected by a jury of Bayer experts for today's grand final. The projects were chosen according to the following criteria: innovation potential, customer focus, economic impact, and last but not least, presentation quality. Today, each of the pre-selected teams will have 10 minutes to pitch their project and 5 minutes for a Q&A together with their mentor. For the final voting, we will provide you with the code because you will be able to choose the winner of this year's Bayer Digital Campus Challenge together with our experts. And now we would like to take the opportunity to thank you all, the judges as well as the mentors who have prepared the 4 teams for the final today and the event. And of course, all the colleagues here in the room and on the screens who supported us to make this event possible today. And as I said, I'm not alone today, so I have some supporters here also in the room with me and also virtually, like Jagat. Welcome, Jagat. Jagat is joining us from Cambridge in the US today, and he's head of the IT and digital for pharma and R&D, and he will give us some insights about the topic of the disruptive technologies and shares with us why this is so important for a company like Bayer to fulfill our mission. So welcome, Jagat. Glad to have you here, and maybe you can start off with some personal words about you.
Yeah, so really delighted to be here, and so happy to be with all of you to share in this exciting challenge. And to just say a little bit about myself, as you mentioned, I'm based in the Boston area, which is and I'm slightly biased, but it's a very exciting place to be. It kind of is a representation of these dual revolutions that we have currently in digital and biotech, and so it's very exciting to be here. And Bayer has a very strong presence in the MIT Kendall Square area, and would invite people to come and visit our beautiful offices here. So just a little bit about myself. So I'm in the Bayer Pharma R&D IT team, leading that team globally. I started out my career as a student, really, to become a scientist. So I was a chemist. I spent many years on the bench working on new technology innovations, specifically in filtration technologies. And during the dot-com boom, I became really excited and interested in the potential of digital and IT, and how that really has a transformative potential for so many different aspects of science, technology, and society. And so that has led me on a career at this intersection between science, technology, and IT. So I'm really happy to also support this initiative by Bayer. And I think there's so much that we can explore and innovate still ahead. Yanis, I can't hear you. I'm not sure if it's just my voice. Hello? So I'm sorry, I can't. Yeah. Okay, so maybe I could maybe say a little more. What I think we're trying to fix your audio issues, Yanis, and maybe I could say a little bit about how IT supports Bayer's mission, right? In relation to the health for all and hunger for none. I think as a company we have a unique position in the world. Given the breadth and presence and expertise that we bring to so many aspects of food science, food production, digital farming, but also bringing innovative medicines to patients and innovating with new products and technologies to help healthcare providers deliver better services to patients. And in each of these areas, I think the challenge and the solution really requires bringing together data from different sources to analyze and bring insights to decision makers to make more informed decisions, but also unlock the innovation that we are achieving in digital, in software, in IT, to really bring it to application for our patients. And so we're convinced, that IT and digital technologies really give us the means, the power to turn these growing volumes of data into actionable insights for farmers, for healthcare providers, and for patients. And so we see our role within the company to help our researchers and experts to innovate new ways to address unmet needs for farmers, for patients, and also to support healthcare professionals in their complex decision making, from diagnosis to care for patients. So
yes,
I hope that gives a little bit of the context for why I think it's so important that we continue to invest and collaborate in IT as a capability for our company.
So hi, my name is Ifat. I work for Bayer. So I also ask you some questions until they fix the issue, if that's okay.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay,
Thanks.
so can you explain us a little bit about the challenges in running a project in company like Bayer? Bayer, it's a huge company. I guess all the students here know that. But can you tell us a little bit about challenges we are facing?
You mean in terms of could you elaborate a little bit, Ifat? I mean, what kinds of challenges would you like
Yes.
to?
Yes, I mean, you talk about in IT manners. We are not IT company, obviously.
Sure.
So we do need to hire experts, however, all over the world, because we have employee all over the world. So can you just explain us a little bit about projects we are doing right now and challenges we're facing in running projects in such huge company?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I mean, we have to think about the technologies in different terms, right? I mean, so there are foundational technologies, that serve an entire company. And when you have a company this large, with almost 100,000 people, working in many different parts of the world, I think that it's important that we have a certain level of digital infrastructure that allows a company of this size to collaborate and operate in an efficient way. And it's even more. And the other aspect of our business is that in many parts of our business we are in a very highly regulated space. So not only do we need IT platforms and solutions that are very performant and can serve many different business needs, but they also need to meet regulations, different kinds of regulations at a global level, and some are regional and very specific. So that compliance aspect is extremely important, and that's one of the things to as an IT organization that we need to care about. Some of the other challenges, have to do really with. So I just to build on the IT services, and so many of our IT services are in internal, phases. So they're to enable our business, but there are also certain technologies that we provide, to healthcare providers, physicians, clinicians, as well as to farmers, and so those require very different kinds of approaches and capabilities to manage and deliver. One of the other key challenges as an IT organization, is really making sure that we have the talent to support us, to build the solutions for the future. We're living in a time where technology is evolving so quickly that we are constantly in a race to update, maintain our skills and capabilities, right? To also innovate and help.
You are correct. Yeah, that's absolutely. And I also wants to add about what you just said, that maybe not everyone aware that Bayer built a digital hub in several countries. One of them is in Tel Aviv. I'm based in Israel, so I'm part of this digital hub. That the idea, as you said, is to find new and innovations and the technology that can help us. We have another digital hub in Poland, in Barcelona. Correct me if I'm wrong. There is
no, very good. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Great. So it's something that you should know. I mean, we are aware that we are not obviously IT company. However, it's very important for us to bring to our employees and to our customers the best and the most innovative solution, especially when it's come to security, because we have obviously tons of data that we are saving on our side So it's very important that it will be according, as you said, regulatorily it will be correct, and this is the most important. The idea that we bring to the table the most secure way to save the data of our customers and our employees. And you talked about we have employees all over the world. Can you give us some, at least to the students, some tips how to start their career in big employee, and sorry, not big in big company like Bayer, or some tips share with us.
Yeah. So I think Bayer is very active in engaging with various universities and across the world, and especially through our digital hubs that you mentioned. For IT in particular, we have a big focus on our hub in Poland and in Spain. And of course, we also engage with universities across many European countries and in the USA. So please, look into those programs, to join Bayer as an intern, and of course, participating through some of these challenges like you're doing today. It's a great way to also connect with colleagues and learn about our companies. Because Bayer has many different businesses, as you know, and I'm sure that many students will find some part of our business that really appeals, to whatever it is that you're excited about, whether it's related to agriculture and food, or forestry and biodiversity, or healthcare, and digital. In general, I would say, what's really important as you think about your career, and if you'd like to build a career in IT, it's certainly important to gain that technical expertise, right? But I think for the future, I think we will all need to develop multiple skills, right? So I think while building the solutions for the future, I think requires us to have skills in software development, in software architecture, data engineering, machine learning. So I think it's important to build expertise in different aspects of.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Finally! So that's the glory of a live event. So we are broadcasting live today. So that's the glory. I'm so sorry. And thank you, Ilvat and Jagat, for covering this so brilliant.
Sure,
I think that's really the Bayer spirit here we can feel. So thank you so much.
Definitely, sure.
Perfect. So I have to interrupt, unfortunately, now this great discussion, because, of course, we are all eager to now see the pitches of the teams and come to the heart of the Digital Campus Challenge, so to see the pitches. So, Jagat, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your insights.
Sure,
it was just amazing. And with that, we are coming to our 4 finalists and the pitches. So there will be time for Q&A after the pitches. And the audience already decided on the order we are going to do today, so via social media voting. And with that being said, so we can start with the first video and our introduction for the topic of clinical data science. Okay, so the finalist for the clinical data science section is our team antifungal linguist from Taiwan. Welcome, group. And your mentor, Jens Krapol, is also here with me, so welcome on stage today. And maybe you can give us a short insight why you decided to choose this team for this category.
Sure, I'm happy. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about why is this category even important. Yeah? So clinical data science, why did we choose this as a category in the first place? Let's start off by looking at the drug discovery process. It's a very lengthy process. Yeah? Bringing a new drug medicine to the market takes 11, 12 years in average. That's a long time, yeah? From drug discovery, finding the right molecules, finding the right targets, clinical, preclinical tests, clinical stages, clinical stage 1, 2, 3, and finally submitting these data and having a product on the market. Yeah? 12 years. So it's the goal of every company to reduce this time.
Yeah.
Yeah? So every pharmaceutical company wants to speed up in this process, recruit patients quicker into the clinical studies, make sure to have the right patients matched to the right studies, find the right sites, and so ever. So many, many levers that we have where we can speed up. And how does data come into the game here? Yeah? So there is a lot of data which we collect during clinical trials, you can imagine. All this data needs to be managed. Statistic happens on this data. And look at how data comes into our systems these days. Yeah? So we have devices these days. Yeah?
Yeah.
We have decentralized clinical trials. Can you imagine the variety, the velocity of this data is ever increasing. So new technologies are needed. New methods of making sense of this massive data are needed. And that's why we're happy partnering with awesome students coming up with new ideas. Yeah? It's not that we are doing nothing in Bayer already. Our scientists, our IT department are on the forefront here already. But it's always good to open up and get new ideas.
Yeah.
And that's why we're happy partnering with young students, for example, such as the antifungal linguists who came up with a great idea, which is maybe not targeting the clinical space immediately, maybe a little steps before, but I think an idea which can be broadened also to other use cases.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much for the introduction. And with that being said, I would say, team, stage is yours. 10 minutes for your pitch.
Hello everyone. We are happy to present our idea to you in clinical data science. Our product can extract knowledge from language large language model like ChatGPT. Our product first help accelerate antifungal drug discovery for Candida auris. Then we will extend the usage to different clinical stages. We are Yue Zhong and Yu Jia from Taiwan. Is the PowerPoint work?
We can see the PowerPoint, but we cannot see when you switch to the nether page. So
Sorry.
we still see page 1.
Yes, that's what confusing. Sorry.
No worries.
Okay.
So yeah, that's better.
We are Yue Zhong and Yu Jia from Taiwan, and we are team antifungal linguists. Both of us study PhD in Germany right now. What is Candida auris? Candida auris is a yeast, a type of fungi. It is an emergent multi-drug resistant fungi, pathogen, and difficult to identify. It quickly became a cause of severe infection around the world. In 2022, it was classified by the World Health Organization as a pathogen of critical priority. The mortality rate in C. auris is ranging from 33% to 72%. So C. auris mostly affect patients with severe underlying medical condition with weakened immune system. It can spread through contact with contaminated surface and colonize patients without causing infection. C. auris can cause deadly infection in different parts of the body, but the early symptoms like fever or difficult breathing can be challenging to identify. So here are surveys from the European Center for Disease Prevention and Control. C. auris become a serious problem in Europe. We can see the number of the infected cases nearly doubled between 2020 and 2021. The main reason for high infection cases is that 90% of C. auris mutated strains resist to at least one drug. Therefore, finding a new drug more quickly is very important. However, selecting a new drug from over 10,000 compounds is very time-consuming and usually takes over a decade to develop a single drug. In addition, the global market drug discovery will cost 66 billion euros by 2025. Artificial intelligence like language model has the potential to reduce the budget and accelerate drug discovery by its efficiency. For example, chemicals can be represented in a language-like format using specific rules, abbreviated as SMILE structure, for a machine to understand. BIOS has used AI solutions like image analyzing and molecular modeling, but no language model so far. We can see a lot of potential adding value to BIOS using language model solutions. However, they are challenging using current state-of-art models like OpenAI ChatGPT and Google Plum. For example, they are not trend-specific artificial antifungal data. Besides, you will have privacy concerns when you are handling patient data. Also, the model size is really large and hard to integrate into BIOS' existing pipeline. Therefore, we came up with an idea to extract knowledge from a large language model and solve the problems above. That is why the logo of our product shows a scientist extracting essential information from a giant.
The metaphor is to build a teacher assistant model to solve our problems. At school, teachers teach students by answer and explanation. However, you need higher budget and more time to hire a teacher. While students can learn by solving questions specifically, but it is very hard for a student to explain why. It is like a black box. So our aim is to create a teacher assistant model that combines both of these strengths and try to answer antifungal questions with explanation. Our product teacher assistant model called Antifungal Linguist train on antifungal knowledge and handle private data. It provides answer and explanation at the same time with lower computational cost, and it's easy to deploy. As you can see at the right-hand side, our model requires less training data with smaller model size, but with higher task accuracy. There are 4 components in our model. First is a question regarding to chemical, if this chemical is related to antifungal and related to Candida auris. Our model will predict an answer and provide an explanation telling you how the answer is made. Finally, we have a tag, like an antifungal tag, telling our model like, hey, we need you to become a teacher assistant and help us to teach an antifungal course next week. So please start learning antifungal knowledge. To build our model, the step 1 will be create training data set by providing question to ChatGPT and obtain answer and explanation from it. The second step is to reduce the model size by taking the question, answer, and explanation from step 1, adding an antifungal tag, informing our model to become a teacher assistant for antifungal course. After several rounds of training and learning antifungal knowledge, we developed our model Antifungal Linguist. It reduced parameters from 175 billion to 220 million. To confirm our idea can actually work in reality, we create an antifungal linguist prototype. It is a language model that allows user to input chemical text and response with chemical information and also a 2-dimensional structure, following an answer and explanation telling you if this chemical is related to antifungal or not. This showcase our model can actually work in reality and can be deployed easily. Our model is better than other models in many ways. For example, it can provide answer and explanation at the same time, while current model only provides answers. Our model can also extend to tasks like understanding chemical structure. we can ask like, is this chemical an archival molecule or not? By designing adding a smile tag to the question, we try to build a teacher assistant model that can understand chemical structure. So our model can give you response like the answer is yes, it's an archival molecule. And the reason is, first, it tells you the definition of chirality. And because this molecule lack of chiral center and stereo center, so it is classified as an archival molecule. Our business plan separate in 3 months. The first month will be preparing data set. We compare with database like Chambo, Drug Bank, PubChem, and published literature. The second month will be fine-tuning our language model. The third month will be implement our model to Bayer exist pipeline. Our model is financially affordable because it is based on a pre-trained language model, which means you don't need to calculate or train anything from the very first beginning, and it saves you a lot of money and time. Our model antifungal linguist can create values for Bayer scientists. It not only provides antifungal solution, but it can also adapt to Bayer's current task, like discovering new drug by providing chemical information and additional reference. We believe that providing this explanation is very valuable because bioscientists can benefit from having this additional information to help them making their final decision. And it can also save them a lot of time searching for references. Our model is less computation cost and easy to deploy, so we believe it can be easily integrated to Bayer's pipeline. Our model is not limited only to drug discovery. It's very versatile. You can design a question with a patient matching tag. This can create values for Bayer's clinical trial recruiter by reducing time spent on patient matching. This time, we built a teacher assistant helping filtering patient data by based on their inclusion and exclusion criteria, helping Bayer clinical trial recruiter to understand if this patient is suitable for this clinical trial.
Our product, Antifungal Linguist, is designed to meet the goal of health for all. By accelerating antifungal discovery, we use a tag to inform our model what kind of knowledge and tasks to conduct. In this way, we can not only keep the performance but also reduce the budget and the model size, which gives our product the potential to have a larger scope in different stages of drug development. We are Team Antifungal Linguists. If you like our idea, please do not forget to vote for us in the end of today's event. Thanks for listening, and we are happy to take questions.
Thank you so much, team. Perfect in time. You managed very well. Thank you so much. And I think there are already some questions in the chat. Jens, will you take that over?
Yes, I got handed the chat tablet with the questions. Thanks, Yao and Yuchia. So first question, what sets you apart from other ChatGPT-based solutions?
Yeah, thanks. This is a very important question because from the emerge of the ChatGPT, a lot of tools start to using it for different purpose. And there's a really big limitation for this kind of method because you need to through their services, like using their API keys. You need to pay for them. And if you're handling patient data or private data, you have like the privacy and security concerns. While our model extract the knowledge and language to become an internal model, you can like free from this bound restriction and use it in your specific pipeline.
Great, thanks a lot. You touched on another question that actually came in. So when you expand in these other adjacencies of your idea here, the patient matching, you might have patient data, personal data in there. Can you expand a bit on privacy, data security? That's sensitive data. How do you approach this?
Yes, we know like this is actually like a win-win situation if we apply this method, because first of all, for a patient that is not coming from a pharmaceutical or biological background, it's very hard for them to first really quickly understand the inclusion and exclusion for every clinical trial. So it has some restriction for them to enter it. And the second, we can have some filtration in our model, like try to block the sensitive information and only provide the necessary inclusion and exclusion when generating text from the input of patient health record.
Great. Maybe there's time for one more from the chat. Let's go for the last one. What specific challenges did you encounter distilling knowledge from this large language model, and how did you overcome this in your context?
Yeah, so it's an advantage to use generative text model like ChatGPT to provide really comprehensive content for us. It saves a lot of time to collect training data. But it is very essential to have like a professional team or like a consultant that can collaborate with us, like double check if this knowledge or the content necessary to go to the next round. And yeah, so that is the we have thinking about like this collaboration when handling this kind of issue.
Great. Yeah, thanks so much for the added insight. And I guess I hand over back to Simone.
Thank you so much, Jens and team. I think that was a great insight to that topic. And yeah, with that, I would like to close the Q&A and the stream presentation. And we can come to the next category, which is good digital health practice. Video low. Okay, so we have also Christian here today, which is the mentor for this category, and for our team finalist, Corey, from Greece. So welcome, team. Happy to have you here today. And Christian, maybe you can elaborate a little bit more about the category and why you choose this team for this category.
Yeah, me and my colleagues who were judging all the different applications were very proud to see that we received some proposals regarding ophthalmology and a combination of examination and devices. And by looking on the Corey application, we really love that there is a rapid prototyping approach, and it was the only one we saw among all the applications. And together with this and with some more information about the business canvas, they provided the background information and also and so on. We decided that this might be our candidate for the final here. And I would say let's see to the program what Dimitra and Theodora will show us in the next minutes.
Thank you so much, Christian. We will have you back for the Q&A. So with that being said, team, I would hand over to you. Stage is yours. 10 minutes for your presentation, and we are eager to see your pitch. Okay, so there seems to be
Hi,
again.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear and see us?
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Now let's begin. My name is Dimitra Pantelaki. I'm a student at the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki in the Department of Medicine. At the same time, I am a student in the Military Academy of Support Officers of the Greek Armed Forces.
And I'm Theodora Gazea, and I'm an electrical and computer engineering student at Aristotle University of Thessaloniki.
And we're here to present CORI. In CORI, we develop eye trackers and we help the physician in simple and everyday eye exams on children. But today I would like to tell you a little bit different story. For example, what does CORI mean? CORI in Greek means two things. The first one means pupil of the eye, and the second one means daughter, like a small child. And since Christmas are on the corner, I would like to tell you a fairy tale. And who doesn't know The Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens? Everyone knows Scrooge. Scrooge was a grumpy old man that was visited by three ghosts, the ghost of the past, of the present, and the future. And in the end of the story, he became a better person and started helping children. In our story, our protagonist is Little Tim. Little Tim is a 5-year-old boy that does not cooperate with a physician, and that is why it's really possible to get a wrong or a delayed diagnosis in his eye conditions. And here is the present. This little Tim has strabismus, and every day he has to deal with that problem. But what's for the future for Tim? The ghost of the future. Little Tim lost vision from one eye because of strabismus. This is something really important. During the visit of the ophthalmologist, the vast majority of children do not cooperate with a physician and require more of his time. Many parents then need to schedule even more appointments, but some of them cannot afford the repetition of lengthy exams. But the biggest problem of all is the wrong diagnosis. Why? Because in our literature, we found out that there is a high rate of wrong or delayed diagnosis in eye conditions in children. So we asked the experts. We asked pediatricians, ophthalmologists, and pediatrician ophthalmologists, and we found a twist that if we have an early diagnosis, we can save the child from the need of surgery. So we tailor-made a solution for the 60 million children that have strabismus worldwide. We made a child-friendly, gamified, specially made VR headset inspired by the way kids pay attention. We can do eye tracking in order to facilitate diagnosis in one sitting. We also project animations in a virtual reality environment that relax the child and direct its gaze.
But how do we do this? We use a custom-made VR headset and cameras to track the movements of the eye. These data are then added to the electronic patient's file. This is what the doctor sees when using CORI in their clinic. We have designed our solution to be easy to use for both patients and physicians. This is TeleCORI, an additional service we provide. TeleCORI is a telemonitoring application that uses the camera of a simple smartphone as an eye tracker. We have ensured that the distance between the camera and the eye is 40 centimeters as indicated by the medical protocols. This is how we started. We tried making our own VR headset from scratch and ordered VR screens that took 2 months to arrive. We designed our own headset and 3D printed it while developing our first eye tracking algorithms. We tested our solution on ourselves. Then, this is how it's going now. We have optimized the design of the headset to fit to children measurements, and we have added and increased the accuracy of our eye tracking algorithms. We can now precisely locate the pupil of the eye, and this is our first patient where we validated our prototype.
But Theodora, medical devices are really expensive. How did you take down the cost?
We managed to bring down the cost from the initial 500 euros to only 80 euros.
That's beautiful.
This is our data flow from the beginning, data collection, to the storage of the data in electronic patient file. We follow the restrictions of both MDR and GDPR. This is our competitors. They are in 3 different categories. The first category is children VR headset only for educational purposes. The second one is commercial VR headset for use for marketing or gaming. And the third one is only for educational purposes, available only for researching centers. This is our market. We have found that the number of children under 14 years old in Europe and USA is 170 million that need ophthalmological exam. For our single feature MVP, we focus to the 6.85 million children with strabismus. The average cost of ophthalmological exam in Europe and US today is 85 euros. So we tackle a market initially of 584 millions that can grow infinitely.
Our revenue model will be based mostly on a membership fee for the physicians and on a capitated model for the private clinics and hospitals. Furthermore, when we grow some steps more, we would like to use those data in order to help researchers. We think that we will be able to reach our break-even point in the middle of 2025. Within a year, we would like to have completed our observational studies in Greece, Germany, and Cyprus, and we would also really like to volunteer CORI for Doctors Without Borders around the world. But why do we believe so much in our idea? We have already worked with 150 ophthalmologists, pediatricians, and orthoptics. We collaborate with university hospitals in Greece and Germany, and we have already filed for a provisional patent application. In your screen, you can see our first proof of concept. I don't know if you have figured it out already, but we are nerds. So we read 500 articles and we made a really nice review regarding virtual reality and eye tracking in pediatric ophthalmology. We presented our review in conferences around Europe and Greece. We also collaborate with military hospitals where they have checked our prototype, and our virtual reality environment, which is Space Theme, won what is a global nominee for the NASA Space Up Challenge. We also participated in the Startup World Cup in Silicon Valley this month, but we also participate in fun events like in the marathon here in Thessaloniki, where we try to communicate our cause to help children. Our vision in CORI is mostly based in 3 steps. Our first step will be to provide ophthalmological examination of children all around the world so we can provide health equality and accessibility. We would also like to expand our age range to adults, something connected to a collaboration with Bayer for AMD patients. For example, we would like to provide a virtual arm-length test for patients, and that it will be made in a form that will be easy and modifiable by the doctor through an electronic record. We already collaborate with pediatricians and ophthalmologists, but we can also monitor nystagmus by the ENTs, and we can also try to help in brain tumors in neurosurgery and oncology. We have a great board of advisors of physicians and electrical engineers backing us, and also our university is supporting us. So the only one missing from the team is you. So let's take action. Let's save little Tim once again, but Scrooge too. You can join us on the social media on the screen, but also on the www.corieyes.com. We would love to hear your feedback, and of course, you will be able to join us. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, team. Great presentation, literally eye-opening and perfectly in time. And with that, I would hand over to Christian, because I think there are a lot of questions in the chat, and you can go on and discuss that with the team.
There are. Thank you very much, Theodora and Dimitria. So the first question is quite easy. How did you get to the idea of setting up CORI?
As you know, I'm a medical student, and Theodora is my friend. And while we were having a coffee, Theodora told me that when she was a child, she had to take some eye drops, but she would never manage because she always kicked her physician. So we were starting to think about solutions, and that's how we managed to get into the idea of CORI. And eventually, through our interviews with the physicians, we developed it to his today form.
Great, thank you. So we have seen there has been some prototyping with little Tim together, and you made some experiences. How was the feedback from your customers? Well, how was the feedback from little Tim?
So we have a really great connection with little Tim. As I told you, he's 5 years old only. And I don't know if you noticed, but he has a t-shirt on that says NASA. Little Tim wants to be an astronaut when he grows up. So he gave us the idea to design a virtual reality environment that is space themed. So when we got to test it on him again, he saw an astronaut moving up, down, left, and right, and to all the positions that we must test for a proper eye movement. And he really, really loved it. Of course, we don't only have great feedbacks. We only have some feedbacks like, for example, it might be really heavy for a child, and other feedbacks. And that is why we design our headset by ourselves, and we try to make it as light as possible.
Cool. Well, the next question is a little bit difficult because it regards to precision. If you compare this with the other devices available on the market, how precise is your device so far, and how do you want it to develop to which precision?
So right now, our algorithm in locating the center of the pupil of the eye, the horizontal and vertical diameter, has an accuracy of 99.42%. So we are really happy with the accuracy we have succeeded. Of course, there is room for increasing, and we will try that with data collection with our first patients.
And we also have a great team with us. For example, we always ask our other friends and other university students if they can help us with problems that we have with the algorithms. And by asking, we always get something done at the end, because we always have the help and the support of our friends and our mentors.
Okay. The next question is regarding the attention span. Does it affect the outcome of your device or the examination itself?
Could you please repeat the question?
Could you measure the span of attention during your prototype phase, and does this has any effect on the outcomes, on the measurements you did?
Yes, the patient is fully engaged, so he follows the instruction of the doctor essentially without noticing it and without resisting. So the percentage of correct diagnosis has increased.
And also that is why we chose the NASA data in order to build our virtual reality environment, because space is pitch black, and the only thing seen in the virtual reality environment is an astronaut that goes up and down and to all the positions that we want. So the attention loss is really, really small because of the particular virtual reality environment.
Okay, last question from my side. You started with the Christmas Carol, and it's Christmas season. Everybody has wishes in these times. Do you have any wishes for Cory, or do you need any support from our audience? How does this look like?
Of course, as you said, we would love to develop something with collaboration with Bayern for AMD patients. And my dream is to be able to get Cory with the Doctors Without Borders together to not be able to serve and give volunteering work. And furthermore, I would love to see Cory in the practice and in the hospital in the practice of every pediatrician and every ophthalmologist all around the world, from Greece to North Korea to Florida, everywhere.
Great.
That's why we try to keep it low cost.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And with that, back to Simone.
Thank you so much, team. And with that, we are closing the category of good digital health practice and move over to our next category, which is data-driven farming. So video up. So, data-driven farming, our group Scorpio from Poland is here with us today. So welcome, Team Scorpio. And your mentor is with us today as well. So welcome also Catherine here in our video conference. And maybe you can, like the other mentors here in the studio as well, give us a little more insights about the team and the category as such.
Yes, of course. It's really a pleasure to join here today for the Digital Campus Challenge. I'm Catherine Sirvin. My role is in digital transformation within Bayer Crop Science. So maybe I can do a little reverse pitch about crop science, because we were a lot here more on the pharma arena. And it's important also to understand the challenges for the hunger for none, in fact, from Bayer. So let me tell you a little story. I'm in France, and let's say that about 1 year ago, around COVID time, we have had a shortage of mustard into the supermarket. Everybody was looking for mustard everywhere, and there were none. Nowhere in the supermarket, and that was really a problem. You know, France is really a food country. So I said, oh, why? And in fact, it started with a plant protection product, medicament for the plants that disappeared. Then we turned back to other providers in Canada, for example. And unfortunately, in Canada, there were some drought and some flooding experiences. So the mustard could not be produced there. And the second and the third producer of mustard in the world are in Ukraine and Russia. So it was a super complex topic, and it ended into shortage of mustards. So, well, I can deal without that, but I let you imagine if this would have been wheat or corn and over the planet. So this is a super important topic, and that's why at Bayer we are providing some things to have the plants super under control, that they could yield a lot. We produce also some seeds, and of course we try to ally all those technologies. The compounds, the different biologics or synthesis compound together with the seeds, so that with digital farming at the square meter precision, we could produce the most and have a food security in the world. So that's why I'm super happy to have had a lot of contributions on the topic of digital farming. And the super team of Scorpio made it to the first. And I'm super happy that they will present you their project. Yeah, let's hear what they have to present. And I let them the stage for pitching.
Absolutely. So Team Scorpio, stage is yours. You have 10 minutes now for your pitch.
Can you see everything?
We can hear you.
Hello, everyone. Today, we want to share a story that not only redefines how we think about the production of medical plants, but also introduces an innovation approach using artificial intelligence and data analysis. Our journey begins with one question: how can we adapt to a changing world where online communities, social trends, and global health challenges create a new context for our action? In recent years, we have witnessed dynamic changes in natural and medicine market. Social media and online communities have become sources of health information, and people are increasingly paying attention to plant-based therapies. However, at the same time, plants crucial to medicine are often hard to access or protected, posing challenges to the production and accessibility of medicine. Enter the Planty box. Imagine that everyone, regardless of their garden experience, has the opportunity to grow a medical plant that is rare or unavailable in their region. Our small greenhouses, those planty boxes, are not just a business idea. They are a revolutionary response to the contemporary health challenges. Thanks to the intelligence, data analysis, and user-friendly design, anyone can become a small producer of medical plants. Our innovative platform not only enables plant growth, but also integrates with social trends, creating a community of healthy enthusiasts who share knowledge and experiences. Today we invite you on our journey when the planty box becomes not only a way to cultivate plants, but a symbol of a change. It's more than a startup. It's a community that aims to transform how we all collaborate with nature for the sake of our health. Stay tuned because this is just the beginning. And now I'd like to hand it over to my friend Veronica, who will delve into the economic aspects of our groundbreaking project.
Okay, so when discussing the economic aspects of our project, the first worth-looking fact is the development trend in this market sector. It is estimated that by 2028, the size of the European medical herbs market will be $337.5 billion American dollar, with a compound annual growth rate of 11.16%. The world stage is also worth looking. The data from 2022 shows that North America is the leader in this sector, but we can expect that Europe will try to catch up with these trends too. However, we would like to start our project on the local scale. When it comes to the medicinal herbs sector in Poland, it covers approximately 15,000 hectares, which equals 50 central parks with 70,000 tons of medical plants from 70 different species. And the project is initially addressed to private hobbies and smaller companies with R&D departments, also universities and other researchers' institutions. The remaining stakeholders will be taken into account in the further phases. So to show you number of potential customers in the starting phase, we prepare a map of Wrocław, where we are from, and we see here many points of opportunity. Then going further, we compare the situation in Poland. The highest density is located in the neighborhood of Lower Silesia, when we are located. And then the theoretical distribution of customers in Europe, which again has a positive impact on the initial location of our project. Now I would like to give the floor to my colleagues Adam and Pavel, who will talk in more detail about technical aspects.
Now we talk about sensors and that we want to use in our boxes. Our containers equipped with an internal system of sensors for air and soil moisture, but also sensor for airflow and the content of both oxygen and carbon dioxide in this air. We also intend to use NPK and pH sensors in the order of continuously monitoring the nutrient values of condition of our plants. Our boxes are characterized by internal water flow and heating systems, so we can control temperature condition and take care of content hydration levels. Also, we use air condition system. For lighting, we used a matrix of addressable LEDs, so we can freely simulate lighting condition and have control over color temperature. Also, we are planning to use UV diodes for soil sterilization before we plant. To pick up information from sensors and communicate with the application, we use STM32 microcontroller. So we can use Wi-Fi and Bluetooth module also to transmit information wirelessly. Now we can see visualization of our invention. Our electronics components and main boards are hiding in the bottom section, so the user doesn't have worry about electronics sticking out. So now we can talk about software solution.
So now let me tell you about the software background of our project. We are going to take advantage of the possibilities of cloud computing and therefore put the databases and AI algorithms in the cloud. Such a solution makes it possible to perform complex calculations without the need for expensive computers with high computing power and complex software directly at our boxes. In addition, storing data in the cloud makes it easier to manage and scale. But how will our system work? Data from sensors will be sent to databases and used by machine learning algorithms to evaluate conditions inside the box and optimize to find the best settings for the plants being grown. After that, information on the status of the crop, along with any recommended action, will be transferred to the application. With this app, user will be able to track the status of the crop by displaying basic factors such as hydration, ambient temperature, humidity, and more. Track changelogs to know about any action taken, and finally, see what's going on inside the box, thanks to cameras installed inside. Installing cameras inside allows us to take advantage of yet another of AI benefits, computer vision. With this algorithm, it will be possible to monitor the state of the plant's development, possibly detect abnormalities in development, and estimate when the plant will be ready for harvest. Another feature will be customizable crop management and task ordering for electronic systems. 3 options will be possible. The first will give full decision making to the AI and thus full autonomy of the box. The user won't have to do a check, everything will be taken care of by the algorithms. In option 2, the user will get notification that specific action should be taken, but the final decision whether something should be done will be up to the user. The last option, created with researchers in mind, limits the algorithms to performing calculations and providing valuable data about the situation in the box, without notifications or other add-ons provided for ordinary users. The focus here is that the application and AI algorithms will be the best possible support for scientists in conducting various research. The app will be available for both PCs and smartphones, which combined with real-time data processing will give users the ability to control their crops anytime, anywhere. The last thing to mention is data and its impact on the functioning of the box. One of the pillars on which our project is based is artificial intelligence. As I mentioned earlier, it affects the management of the operation of electronic systems and the control of conditions inside the box. For AI algorithms, data is the basis of the operation, so the more data, the better performance possible. In our situation, we'll be dealing with huge amount of data and therefore great opportunities to improve our algorithms. In addition, we'll be open to cooperate with researchers in terms of sharing research data that could help us improve our product and thus give them a better working system to conduct further research work. In summary, with growing databases, the functioning of AI algorithms is improved and thus the effectiveness and efficiency of our box.
So thank you, Paweł. We are running out of time, so I will be very brief. We know that how important cooperation is nowadays. So you can see on the slide companies such as Bayer, Analog Astronaut Training Center, and Lunar Research Station. We believe that these places are good for our project because they will we will be able to spread its wings in the first stage of development. Also, our university, Wrocław University of Science and Technology, runs various programs to help projects like ours in a smart as well as developing way. We would like to take advantage of the opportunity provided by other people's knowledge and this company knowledge to continually improve our project for the benefits of our customers. So to do that, we need to keep in mind continuous development. We know that our project stands out because of the use of advanced technologies that will support the growth of plants in the box. And to be able to collect the first sensor data and be able to create the first conclusions, we would also like to create a prototype of the box so that we can just adjust our expectation on the final product. In addition, to be able to start various collaboration and to gain necessary experience, we decided to create a startup that would give our project a real chance of coming into existence and helping other people. To reach as many people as possible, we will also focus on marketing, which is crucial when developing a project like ours on this first stage. As you have already had the opportunity to listen to my colleagues, we are a very diverse group. Our backgrounds cover many levels on which our project will be able to operate. We believe this is our advantage because we can take the unconventional view of the challenges and will encounter as the project progresses. We are young people who are learning about the cutting-edge technologies, and we would like to be able to use our knowledge to help others. In the end, you can see our interests and educational background. We are the ones behind this project. We would like to thank you warmly for your attention. Thank you for the opportunity to present our project at such an event. And if you have any questions, we'll gladly try to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Team Scorpio. And I think, Catherine, you have also access to the questions from the chat. Unfortunately, you have just 3 minutes left due to the little bit of overtime. So maybe you can focus on 1 or 2 good questions here from the chat. I think you have to unmute yourself first.
Indeed, thank you. Thank you so much. So I saw one question related to the cloud aspect. So what is the advantage of going to the cloud with all this system and with all the sensors?
So as I mentioned in presentation, the cloud gives us the opportunity to have a big data storage without having it physically, so making systems physically. We can put all data in cloud. It's easier to manage and scale. So if we want to have bigger databases, we can get it. If we want to smaller, we can get it, and it's cheaper solution. Thank you. But not only that, with cloud we have in cloud we have do all these calculations for AI. So for that we can use cheaper controllers, microcontrollers. We don't have to use like really expensive computers to make these calculations. Because, for example, computer vision really needs high computing power, so it's also a cheaper solution.
So maybe I have a question related then to the cost, by the way, because I have a question about the sensor cost, because you have a lot of cost for the box, and there is a related question, is it feasible for developing countries? And for myself, I will add, is it feasible maybe for the space? I don't know, because I saw also that you are also in the space arena.
Okay, our plan is to make a product for everyone. We don't want to make any exceptions, so we will try to make it as cheap as humanly possible. Unfortunately, at this moment, considering that we don't have any kind of contracts with any big companies that could lower the costs of those different sensors, we are counting around 2,000 złotych. That would be around, I don't know, 200 euros, around something like that, a little bit less, to be honest. We have few possible ideas how to lower the cost. We were thinking about lowering the cost of the box itself, but create a map our app subscription. So in this way, you don't have to spend so much money in the beginning, and later on it would be little money to have the ability to use it properly without worrying about anything else, because we want to make it as free to use for anyone. You know, you just leave it be, it's going to grow on its own without your need for your attention.
Thank you so much, Tim and Catherine, for the presentation and the Q&A. I would like to close the topic of data-driven farming with that and hand over to our next and final category, which is digital immunity. And for this section, we have nominated Team Aista from France, which is also here in the group. So welcome, Team Aista. And we also have in the call your mentor, Ivat, who also was here in the beginning and covered me in the moderation for some time. So Ivat, we can see your icon, but there you are. Perfect.
Yes. Hi.
So maybe you can also give us a short introduction on our category about digital immunity and maybe some words also about the team you have chosen here.
Sure. Thank you very much. So hello, everyone. My name is Ifat. I'm based in Israel. I work for Bayer for a year and a half as a senior IAM engineer, and I'm also part of the digital hub in Israel. Choosing digital immunity as a category for the DSS was driven by several factors, including the increasing values of cybersecurity in today's digital world. As someone that's deeply involved in the IAM, I recognize the importance of protecting our digital assets and the sensitive information. Cybersecurity is important for Bayer due to the nature of our operations and the sensitive data we are handling. In the IAM domain, ensuring secure access to system and data is critical for preventing unauthorized access and potential breaches. IAM is a basic aspect of the Bayer cybersecurity strategy. We are offering a wide approach to protect sensitive information, providing compliance, and promoting better user management across the organization. And it's an integral component in our view of defense against cyber threats. I will briefly explain the key points we're focusing right now on the IAM domain at Bayer. So first of all, as I said, data protection. We are managing and controlling the access of sensitive data, managing secrets and confidential data. We want to ensure that only authorized individuals have access for a specific resource. Regulatory compliance. IAM helps to Bayer to comply with different regulatory requirements such as GDPR. We provide tools to manage and audit user access, ensuring that data is handled by the legal standards. We also provide efficient user lifecycle management. IAM simplifies the process of onboarding, offboarding, and manage user privileges through their lifecycle in the organization. We obviously have the password management. IAM tools include the secure password management, reducing the risk of unauthorized access due to weak password. Example of that was obviously the MFA, that is our primary authentication method. And the last thing I think we are forgetting when talking about security is a better user experience. IAM solutions can improve user experience by providing easy and secure resource access. Provide easy and way to secure and to resource and access. And my main goal as IAM engineer is to balance between the security requirements and with the need for convenient and efficient business workflow. So this is it. I will let the team talk right now. I'll let the team talk and have the presentation. Good luck.
So maybe before we hand over to the team for the presentation, I think we also have a video for the category of digital immunity, and I would ask the guys here in the room to play that first before we hand over to the team. So with now having seen the trailer and also have the great introduction from Ivat, I would say stage is yours, Team ISTA. We are looking forward to your 10 minutes pitch now.
Hello everyone, we are the ISDA team and we are going to present to you our project for an AI-based application that would help revolutionize digital immunity of the Bayer Corporation. We are thrilled to introduce to you ISDA, which stands for International and Safe Data Availability. We are Zara, Léa and Marjolaine from Centrale Supélec, a French engineering school linked to the Paris-Saclay University, and from the IFSB AIM, the French Institute for Higher Biomedical Training. Our curriculum specializes in hard sciences and computer science, and we have loved working on this project that links health and IT. Without further ado, let's explain what the challenge is. Nowadays, businesses are relying more and more on IT and software.
Sorry, guys, to interrupt. So we can just see a white slide. So at least here in the room. So I'm not quite sure how it is with the others in the audience. So maybe you have to jump out the presentation mode and start it all over again so that we can also see your presentation.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Is it okay here?
That's better. Now we do not have the presentation mode, but we can at least see the slides.
Okay, sorry.
No worries. Go ahead.
So without further ado, let's explain what the challenge is. Nowadays, businesses are relying more and more on IT and softwares, indicating the need for companies to invest in digital solutions and anti-cyber threats measures. Digital immunity is a fundamental issue, especially in the healthcare sector, since statistics shows that personal health data are the most sought after by cyber criminals. The budget dedicated to data protection and cyber security averages 5% of a company's total budgets. This percentage remains very low and needs to be increased in the future to protect patients' health privacy. Our applications deals with a specific issue, data protection during international or intercompany data transfer. Indeed, Bayer is a worldwide leading firm that deals with a large amount of private and confidential data about clinical trials or pharmaceutical studies. It can be patients' contacts, address, profession, and even their medical records. Therefore, Bayer's database is extra sensitive and needs to be protected. The threats remain malwares and cyber attacks or employees' carelessness, but also transfers to other companies or to other countries. Indeed, different companies and different countries have very different policies regarding data protection, which may not correspond to Bayer's expectations. But what are these expectations? Bayer remains responsible to protect its database even after a transfer. So the key points that need to be checked in the partner company are the following: the accessibility of the data that must be supervised. The company must deploy IT safety measures such as enhanced authentication and up-to-date softwares. And after having collected, analyzed, and stored the data, the company must delete the data from its database according to the allowed deadlines for data retention.
Let's now describe an example of what the current situation looks like and at which step our solution could be a major help. For example, let's imagine that Marie, a Bayer employee, needs to share sensitive data such as contacts from patients of a clinical trial to a foreign company. Currently, it's a very tedious and long process to check whether the recipient company respects IT security measures expected for Bayer's data, especially in certain countries. Contracts must be redacted by teams of jurists, and these types of transfer take a lot of time before being finished. When the data safety has been checked wrong, or when laws aren't restrictive enough, it's more likely that breaches occur and there are data leaks that can cost a lot to the company. In fact, a breach is not unlikely to happen. Such ones have already occurred in the healthcare sector. For example, UCLA Health Systems and TreeCare were affected recently. So, considering the situation of Marie and the need for data protection during exchanges between Bayer and other companies, we mean to raise one issue: how to avoid security breaches with AI.
Our solution aim is to facilitate the work of Bayer's employee while transferring sensible data and thus lower the risk of data breaches. It is based on an AI technology which will be able to predict the efficiency of a contract, but also generate a new one, more efficient concerning data protection. First, the user will enter the company with which he wants to do the exchange. The software will then analyze not only the contract, but also the company's and its country's policy concerning data protection and rate, based on those analyses, the efficiency of the transaction concerning the protection of data. If necessary, meaning if the rate is not high enough, the AI software will also be able to generate a new contract, replacing the weak sections of the contract.
Here is a mock-up of what the app would look like. A simple interface and three main tabs. One of them is for company analyzing, and the corresponding window shows a search bar and results that gives a rating and cybersecurity details of the company, as we can see below with Pharma One, for example. Another tab is for contract editing. There is a part where it is possible to have contracts scanned and checked for flaws and security breaches, and another part where it is possible to have some help in writing the contracts. For this last option, ISDA has to check both policies and determine where the unsafe points are, making sure to write them in the contracts.
So, to conceive our software, we will use three technologies of AI. First, the supervised learning AI, meaning that the AI will be fed thanks to a team of jurists with the whole database of contracts, international policies, and example of frauds and breaches of data. The model will then learn and improve from this database. Then, AI technicians will implement natural language processing, and especially the natural language understanding to analyze contracts, and the natural language generating to generate a corrected one. Those two modules being implemented, AI technicians will then run tests with different examples of contracts and companies and rate the efficiency of the software, as well as list its different errors. Based on those observations and using reinforcement learning AI, technicians will give a feedback to the software so that it can improve from its errors. Then, to make this project doable or easier, it is in Bayer's interest to find partners. First, Bayer will need partners to finance the project and thus lower the costs, which can be found in the companies facing the same challenges of protecting health data as Bayer. For example, Bayer could partner with Regeneron, CureVac, or Trinity Health, or even use funds from the CoLab, a health startup incubator internal to Bayer. Also, Bayer can look for partners to help conceive the software. Two main types of partners need to be found. First, partners in the AI sector to help develop the technology, such as data consultancy services or Cognizant, offering to create an AI technology shaped around the project of the client. But also partners in the law field,
hiring jurists from international and renowned firms specialized in the protection of data and confidentiality, such as Brian Cave-Layson Partners or Morrison and Forsters.
Finally, to give you some perspective, here's an idea of the timeline we envisioned. Firstly, like presented before, Bayer will have to start by establishing partnerships with other companies that may be interested. So it should take between 6 and 12 months. Then the real development of the software will start, and we propose two parallel tasks. On the one hand, the AI development, and on the other hand, the user interface development that will later include the AI. For the AI, we first need some data to train the AI on how to make juridical decisions. Then the development of the AI itself can start and include several test phases as an iterative process. Now, for the user interface part, it's firstly developed and then tested by selected employees to give some feedback. AI and interface parts should take approximately 16 months. To finish, the AI will be included into the interface, and the global software will have to be deployed to all relevant employees of partner companies, which should last 6 months or so. All included, the final product will be available and in application in less than 3 years. To conclude, our aim is to facilitate life for experts and jurists, allowing Bayer's collaborators to have access to its data more easily, making research more efficient, and patients' data safer. Data for all, bridge for none. Thank you for your attention and for this opportunity already.
Thank you so much, Team ASD, for this presentation. And we already received some questions in the chat for you. So, do you consider the regulations of the European privacy law when setting up the application?
So we consider the GDPR, so the General Data Protection Regulation, which is regulations which are specific to data coming from the EU, since the Bayer is a German group. So these regulations will be included in our software and will be the base of the regulations which will be implemented in our software. And then we will add the policies of the other companies with which we will be working.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question will be, how does your platform account for shared spaces like SharePoint and email?
Sorry, can you repeat?
How does your platform account for shared spaces like SharePoint and email?
Oh, okay. Each user of ISDA could have a user account and have its own contracts listed, and it could share maybe with its colleague from the same company, of course, the contracts redacted using ISDA, so that it would allow collaboration internal to the company. And if we create shared spaces with other companies, those shared spaces will be created with the help of the software. So the software will also, in the contract, generate policies which can be included in the contract to make a great shared space, so that there is no leaks of information in those shared space between Bayer and the other company.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So last question will be, how easily can the system be updated to reflect modifications in data privacy regulations and data protection regulations and data privacy regulations?
Well, that's the main aim of the module of reinforcement learning AI. First, it's used in the conception so that the software can learn from its errors, but also it can be used as we are using the software, so that the jurist can add new regulations, and the software can learn from those new regulations. It can also learn from new frauds which are detected after the conception of the software.
And this module will help the AI to learn from those new regulations and those new errors. And it's also the role of the supervised learning AI, since those new regulations is also a new kind of database which we can feed the supervised learning AI with. And so those two modules will help the software to improve from the whole new database that we have along the time after the software is conceived.
Okay, thank you so much for taking that question. So, yeah, I think we're now closing the pitches. So thank you so much, teams, for the presentations and all the hard work you have put into these pitches over the last weeks and months, I guess. I think you can all be proud, very proud of you. And we're now going a step further and taking the decision. So voting is up for now, and this will be a tough decision, I guess. So I'm happy that I do not have to vote for now. So I think the colleagues will also share the QR code, which you can use. To vote for your favorite team, and we are all hope that you will do that and support the teams you like the best here. And taking into consideration for the voting, you can do like innovation, the potential of the presentations, the customer focus, the economic impact, and of course also the presentation quality. You can go to menti.com and use the code, and the voting is up now for 15 minutes, and fingers crossed for all the teams. And until the voting is open, we have invited some more guests here in our studio. So I will take a minute to go over here and welcome our two guests, Ian and Sarah. So welcome on our couch here in the nice round.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And I think it's a good time now to use while the voting is open to get to know you a bit better. So you're both working for Bayer, but maybe you can start and tell us a bit more about your role and why Bayer is, your employer of choice for you.
You want to start?
Yeah, I can go ahead and start. So, hey everyone, I'm Ian Hall. I'm currently an intern here at Bayer, working in the strategy and partnerships. I'm getting my master's right now from Stanford University with a degree in management science and engineering, which is a mixture of computer science, business, and data science, but really a focus on healthcare in general. And so working here with Sarah on the strategy and partnerships team, really looking at emerging technologies. So, and I'm sure Sarah can explain more about what our team does.
Yes, so I'm Sarah Lewandowski. I'm working also in the same team, Strategy and Partnership. I'm Global Technology and Innovation Lead, and together with the team, we are screening emerging technologies, running experiments on emerging technologies. And besides that, I'm also the co-lead of the Gen AI Catalyst team. So there we are looking into how we can enable generative AI at Bayer and how we can actually, bring it to impact. And the other question was, what is our favorite part at working at Bayer?
Yeah.
I would say what I'm really excited about is our mission, health for all, hunger for none. And I think by working in a cross-divisional department, so we are responsible for all divisions, it's really nice that we can deep dive into, parts of crop science where you see things like digital farming, drone applications, artificial intelligence application and R&D, but also in pharma, how you actually create labels, what you have to do to actually make a product go to market, like this whole bouquet of different ways what we are actually doing is for me every time amazing for making our vision and mission become reality.
Cool, thank you so much.
Yeah, and then for me, my favorite part working here has been the people, really. I mean, I'm on such an amazing team, but really, really everyone's just so forward focused and thinking about like the future and really what can drive value for the organization. Also, they have just such great experience and they're just willing to share it and give me mentorship all the time. I mean, I've only been here a couple months, but the amount of times I've asked to be on for help with projects or asked questions, everybody's been so open to share their knowledge. Oh, and then they're super empowering too. So early on, like giving me responsibilities to work on projects and to give my input. So that's been really great to work with such a great team, and the people here at this organization are just amazing.
Yeah, I can feel that. I also started some years ago as an intern, so that's always a good enter in the company. Yeah, cool. So you have seen now some of the pitches. So what is your feeling and your thoughts about it, seeing all those students now presenting in those different categories?
I'm super excited. So how everyone really thought about the problem and solving it with these different approaches, I think this is amazing. Also, some of the questions I heard, I must say, these are sometimes questions we are still thinking about ourselves.
Yeah.
So if you could answer those questions, also kudos to the team that you even thought about those questions. And sometimes there isn't even a right answer yet, right? So as all of these are really at the forefront, tackling these different areas, I'm happy that I cannot vote now because it would be a hard decision for me.
Yes, for me as well. Yeah, true story.
No, I 100% agree with that. I'm so glad I don't have to vote. But I got really excited seeing the creativity that came out of these solutions. They're really addressing what problems are put out there, and they've come up with such innovative ways and ways that I would never have thought of. And it's exciting to see someone with a different perspective come with a different approach to a problem, and it's just really exciting to see that.
Thank you. I mean, you're both, of course, biased, but nevertheless, you have now seen also the pitches from the other teams, so maybe you can also share your thoughts on this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, relevant examples, relevant solutions. Yeah, thinking about the business impact, thinking about the patients, the consumers. Yeah, that's what we could see, and we saw the passion. Yeah, it's ultimately also the people behind that's important for me, and that was great this year again for me.
Well, I'm responsible for data generation at Bayer Pharma. And I saw on all these pitches that data is at its core.
Yeah.
So I was really excited how they are tackling this from the safety security perspective, from the operational perspective, how to get to the data, and so on. So kudos to all the teams.
Yeah, definitely. So it will be a close run, I guess, in the end. So maybe you can also share some hints to our young audience here today. What would you say is good to start with, starting in such a company, and what can you do to be prepared?
So I think in general, starting in a big company such as Bayer, it's always good to not maybe be intimidated by maybe some parts of the job offers you read.
Yeah.
So don't go through it and might be discouraged because you don't fulfill 100% of what's written in there. But take the chance and apply for it if you think this is what you want to do. And then if you get the chance to start, I think it's important to network. Mm-hmm. So really get out there, get to know the people, because if you have a company of 100,000 employees, basically, you can experience so many different people, diversities in so many different levels. It's important to reach out to people, be open, and take that all in. But I guess Ian can probably reflect more on that.
I was gonna say exactly take advantage of the resources that Bayer has, and it starts with the people, because you mentioned networking, but that's where you get your mentorship. That's where you can make connections and learn about other people's roles and what they're doing, what's important to them. And you really learn a lot, like, oh, this interests me more here, and it can help your development and growth. And then there's also a bunch of resources like the IT Academy, resources to online learnings to really upskill yourself and be a continuous learner while here at Bayer. So I would say take advantage of that. And then even as an intern, sometimes you got to reach out and ask for that responsibility, and to ask to take on projects, show that you can give value to the team. So I would say that would be my advice, is to, ask for that responsibility.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much. I mean, you both meant networking, and I think this was also always an advice I heard back then. But now having the digital century, how does this change really the networking part in Bayer? How you do that?
Well, that's a good question. I started during Corona, so 2.5 years ago. There wasn't the possibility to go to something like that or to go to a shared
Sitting on a couch together, right?
Exactly. It didn't happen then. So what I actually did, I asked my peers, who would you connect to and can you connect me to the people? And I just entered some meetings for a coffee break. So also in a virtual environment, you can network on the one side, and on the other side, it brings you opportunities that you don't just stick to the people in your region because they are in Leverkusen, in Frankfurt, wherever you're based. But I actually got to know people in the US. I even got to know people in Ghana, in Africa, like all across the world by asking people, who should I reach out because they might be interesting to talk to.
Right. And I would say there's just no barriers to like who you can reach out to. I mean, our team's very global. We have people in the US, people here in Leverkusen, people in Switzerland. So, and there's no barriers of like, I can reach out to them, schedule a coffee chat, and they're willing to talk to me. Whereas in the past, it might have been, oh, well, like we're not the same person. Like the access to Teams is like, not everyone's just going to hop on with you. And so that's so exciting that, you know, there are no barriers to connect you with people who have interesting things to tell you.
Yeah. But I would say it's a little bit more work. You still have to do the reaching out part, right?
Proactivity, right?
Yes.
This is always an advice I give to my interns, saying like you have to go out, put yourself out there and really go a step forward here.
Yes.
So how is it for you?
Well, I think at least if you've joined Bayer, there's opening up a world also beyond Bayer, because you get in touch with other companies, you get in touch with other industries, and this is really amazing and eye-opening because you can reflect what we are doing here. Is this really what our customer needs or not? How should we change our ways of working so that they get some value out of our work? And I think this is something completely different than if you're working in a very small company where everything is very familiar to each other. But if you have such a great and huge company like Bayer, then you have all these possibilities you're already mentioning, and in addition to that, also to the customers out there and to the markets and so on.
Not much more to add.
I mean, but you both take also part in the Digital Campus Challenge already last year. When you compare it to this year, I know it's hard, but maybe you can share some thoughts on this. Or, what's different for you, or what was different? Maybe also in mentoring the groups.
So not so much change, to be honest. What I saw in the ideas, I think this Corona time that we were coming out somehow had an impact on the ideas. Yeah. So some of the ideas were tackling Corona impact somehow that we saw over the last years. So maybe not in the 4 we saw today, but that was something that changed. Other than this, we saw awesome students, passionate students, and great ideas. So not so much change, to be honest.
Cool.
So currently it's still a hybrid session here. I remember the very first sessions of Digital Campus Challenge when we were right over there in Baycom, and it was a great auditorium, and there was something like a real challenge at the place it took where we were. And so this is something I remember very well, and I hope that we are going to this back and that we have a huge party then together with all the applicants and the participants all together.
Yeah, I mean, virtual connect is always good, but live is always better, right? So I have to look to my colleagues regarding the timing. Do we have some more time left for the voting so that we have another question here for the round? Okay. So now I have to come up with a smart question. So the only thing I have in my mind, due to the fact that we also saw some of the illustrations already in the presentation, was the vacation mode and the holiday season coming up. So how are you going to do that now?
You mean what we are doing during vacation, or?
Yeah, the holiday season. Is there anything specific you're doing?
Well, my family is half Polish, and you celebrate Christmas quite big or you have a lot of food, right? So I guess it is like in a movie, so a lot of stress, a lot of cooking, a lot of eating, a lot of people in one place, but always a lot of fun. So this is one part. And then probably calming down from the year, because I think for everyone at Bayer, this year was a wild ride through a lot of news, a lot of things happening, a lot of transitions, which will also continue during next year. And I think it's great to have some time to reflect, which is always important, at least for me personally, and then starting refreshed into the next year.
Say for me, the bird is prepared, and the books are already on my table. Taking some time for reflection and reading, and I think this is a very good opportunity to use the time off and just summing up the year with some open invoices at the desk. But I think this will be done also within the next days.
Ian, are you staying for vacation here, or is your internship coming to an end, unfortunately, at the end of the year?
So my internship ends in January, but I'm going home for the holidays for a little over a week. So I get to go home, see my family, and then I will come back here and finish my internship towards the end of January. So
the internship phase you did here locally in Leverkusen?
Yes, I did, which was an amazing experience to move from the States here. And I really just felt at home. Like, I was surprised. Like, I was really nervous beforehand, but with my team and then like with the other coworkers, like I really felt like welcomed into this group, and like it was an amazing experience that I could not have predicted beforehand. So
I mean, this is really cool that you offered that in your team, because I also know from other interns from abroad that they are staying in their home country and they do the internship just on a virtual basis. So why do you decided to bring Ian here?
Well, that's a good question. I think there are different programs, and this is one program where it's actually offered that also from the program organizer, let's call it that way, that the students can come over to Germany. And I think it's a great experience because on the one side for you, experiencing what you can do in Germany, maybe also different cultures.
Right, yes.
And I think this is the exchange we also want to support, right? This bringing in fresh perspectives, university insights, all the drive you brought to us. I think this is great for us at the team, and great that there are such programs which you can leverage, which we are leveraging as well for making this happen. Yeah.
So it's an ID internship program, right?
Yes.
You're referring to, right? And you just applied via our webpage, or how was your access to that internship?
So the internship was offered through the DAAD. I'm forgetting because it's in German.
Yeah, I know.
But yes, I applied through their portal actually. But I know that I was talking to some other interns that I've met. They've applied like through the Bayer portal, I believe.
But over the DAA portal, I think there are some job applications.
Yes, there were
uploaded from
yes,
Bayer,
there was multiple.
And then you
there
can,
was multiple, and like this one really fit my
Good.
interest.
So I think countdown is on for the last seconds for the voting. So use the last seconds to vote for your favorite. And yes, so you also see the countdown. So 25 seconds left, and do your final vote. Thank you so much for voting, and I guess a lot of you are also excited like I am. I'm not quite sure if you can still see me. Yes? Okay. And now I have the great honor to announce the winner of this year's Digital Campus Challenge, and I will do this now. And the winner is Team Corey. Congratulations to Team Corey. And as we have the mentor also here, so maybe Christian, you can join me here on stage. And congratulations, Team Corey. You did a great presentation here. And I think we hand it over to your team, right, for some winning words.
Definitely. So proud of you, ladies.
Thank you very much. Can you hear us?
Like I said at the beginning, so we had more than 300 submissions. So I think this is really a great honor, not only for the teams being here in the finals, but especially now for you being the winner of our Digital Campus Challenge in 2023. And our winning team gets the great opportunity of an exclusive meeting with scientists and business leaders to discuss possible next steps of your ideas and business opportunities. So congratulations to this. I think it's a great closing of the year. And yeah, I think with that, we're coming to an end of our live stream, Christian.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing you here in Leverkusen, and so proud of you, ladies.
Thank you very much. I don't know if you can hear us, but thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. Vielen Dank aus Griechenland. Dankeschön.
You can still hear us, right? Yes. Okay. That's great. Okay, cool. So we're now closing the session, and I would like to ask all the guests and all the people behind the scenes to join us on stage. So big thank you to all of you. For the great work you have done over the last weeks and months as jury, as mentee, as interview partners today, as colleagues who support us here in the back. Of course, a big applause to the guys here from the light and camera and so on. And of course, we also would like to thank you, Heiko, our dearest colleague who passed away too early and was always, I would say, the man behind the Digital Campus Challenge here at Bayer. Without him, nothing of this would have been possible. And I think especially today, a lot of us think about him. And thank you so much for all your work, your contributions, and have a great festival season.
Bye-bye.